Anime voice actors, those responsible for bringing our favorite anime characters to life. With over 500 new anime titles being developed each year, leaving an impact in this $20 billion industry can be tremendously competitive and cruel. Just a few years ago, I sat down with anime voice actors, but what about those who have been heralded as ranking amongst the most legendary voice actors, the most beloved and genre-defining anime series ever brought to the West? My name's Anthony Padilla, and today I'm going to be sitting down with legendary anime voice actors to learn the truth behind these faceless voices that have left such a profound impact on so many of us. Do these legendary anime voice actors provide their voices out of the deep love they feel for the genre, regardless of anyone else's opinion? Or do they feel a pain in their heart when fans opt out of hearing their voice acting in favor of subtitles? Is being part of an industry with such an intense fan base a blessing or a curse? Hello, Bryce.
Anthony, how's it going, man?
Shannon.
Hello.
Sarah.
Hello, Anthony.
Thank you so much for coming on here and teaching me about the world of legendary anime voice actors.
I'm happy to be here.
What do you consider yourself? Just simply a voice actor, someone who partakes in voice acting of the anime variety?
Singer, actor, voice actor.
Voice actor, I work on all sorts of things, you know, from anime to video games to commercials.
An actor. I think this question's been asked and answered, and I think everybody's gonna say the same thing.
What does being an anime voice actor specifically entail?
We are replacing the original Japanese dialogue with English dialogue. When I step in the booth, everything is already adapted to English, and I basically talk as my characters are talking on screen and hope that it doesn't look like Godzilla. You don't want the, hi.
How long have you been an anime voice actor, and how many anime have you voiced?
So I've done it for 15 years, and I've been in 2 series.
I've lost count for sure. I've been a voice actor since I was 8 years old.
I've been doing this for almost 20 years, so I think I have a few characters under my belt.
Can you list some of the series that you've been a part of that are probably the most well-known?
Eren Yeager in Attack on Titan, Kirito in Sword Art Online, Inosuke in Demon Slayer, the list kind of goes on.
Death Note.
I mean the biggest one, and then nothing
series.
else.
That's all you really
I'm in
need.
Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh, and that's it.
Are you able to show us any examples of the voices that you do?
Light! That's all. I just feel like it was a lot of, lots of pouting and crying.
That was perfect.
Eren is, he's very, very angry. Get up! Get up! Let me kill you again! And again! And again! He's a fun guy.
I'm not allowed to do them.
Is it like a contractual thing where they don't want the voice to be like taken out of their parameters?
Yeah, it's an IP thing, so they own the voice. So I can't be like, I'm Ash Ketchum in that voice. I can't do that.
I'm just saying it's a good thing that Ash Ketchum just wasn't your exact standard speaking voice.
You know, things would be very difficult for me.
I'm Ash Ketchum. I came from Palatown in the Kanto region.
Do you remember anything about your first anime gig?
I was like 11 years old or 12 years old when the show came out, so I was like that prime age.
That was my entire life.
Well, I didn't have time to make it my entire life,
Oh,
but
sorry, you didn't put 120 hours into Pokemon Red?
I had graduated high school, and shortly thereafter I got the audition. I was using an at-a-glance calendar, like the book, and I forgot to flip the page. It was a Sunday, and I'm like, oh my God, this audition, I completely forgot about it. I ran over to my friend's house and I was like, we gotta practice this, we gotta practice this.
Yeah.
And she was like, you're terrible at this, you're never gonna get it. I left that audition crying because I'd never, and I haven't since been that unprepared for anything in my entire life.
Apparently that worked well. I mean, obviously you didn't need to be prepared for it. Are you an anime fan yourself, or did you kind of start getting into it kind of just as part of a job?
I grew up watching anime. I grew up watching Dragon Ball Z. You know, as the little kid in the back of the class trying to go Super Saiyan, just die! I've always loved anime. Pokemon also was another show and game that I grew up playing. It was a dream come true that I was able to voice Red, Trainer Red in Pokemon Origins, the anime about that original game.
Oh my God, I didn't know you were part of that. That's incredible.
I have won the anime lottery.
Do you remember your reaction to finding out that you landed your first huge gig?
Complete shock. I mean, I'm blackout. At that point, I didn't realize just how big a deal this might be. I knew this was a huge role, but I wasn't really thinking about like the larger, like what this means in the world, that my voice was going to be heard all over the world, that there was a whole fandom that was going to be really angry about it. I didn't really think about that stuff. I was thinking about how to be really great and how to like know the technical aspect of it, the dubbing part. Like I'd never done that before, so I had enough to be afraid of.
How does anime voice acting differ from other kinds of acting?
You're watching the character and you're dubbing, so you're talking as your character is talking on screen. So sync is something very important because you want those lip flaps to hit the right way.
I think it's interesting because they're confined to such strict guidelines of the amount of flaps that, the amount of syllables that you're allowed to say. You can't just go off improvising or bringing a type of heart to a character if it doesn't fit within those boundaries.
Exactly. So you're limited. There's no table reading in anime. There's no seeing the script ahead of time. When you go in and you record these shows, it is the first time you're seeing those lines and the first time you're saying them. And you just have to live in the moment and take inspiration from what is around you and just let what happens go.
Anime seems to always have these extraneous sounds or efforts, as they call it in the biz. Can you fill me in on what that is and maybe teach me how to do a little bit of that?
Every little movement requires a sound, so characters' eyes might move and it requires a little breath. You might get punched or kicked or shot or blown up or fall. All of those things require sounds. I'm gonna describe a situation and then you're gonna give me the sound that you think should go with it.
Got it.
Get punched in the arm, so taking damage, like a Good. Now punched in the stomach, like a I want you to get punched in the show, but the person's hand kind of gets stuck in your mouth and goes down your throat, and you're almost like choking on their hand as they're punching you. It's a crazy, violent anime show.
Oh yeah, I'm into it.
Here it comes. That was perfect.
You almost killed me there, but I got you back.
Nice work. Nice work.
Before we continue learning about the world of legendary anime voice actors, all right, you down to roleplay?
Let's do it.
So I brought a printout of a character that I would like you to perform in any way that you see fit. This is the character that you will be voicing today. How would you think this character would sound? This character. I'd like to thank our sponsor, ExpressVPN, for our continued partnership that allows us to continue this series and to support all the disgustingly talented people who help make this series possible behind the scenes. For those of you who don't usually watch this series, ExpressVPN is an app and browser extension that protects your privacy and security online while allowing you to place your device anywhere in the world so you can watch everything you don't usually have access to in your region. So let's say, for example, that you're interested in indulging in media of the anime variety, and you have a nostalgic series about pocket-sized beasts that you want to watch, but they don't have the first season available to stream in your region. No worries. We got you covered. ExpressVPN hides your IP address and lets you select where you want sites to think you're located, and you can choose from almost 100 different countries. And so basically what I'm trying to say is you got a load of options. ExpressVPN actually works with any streaming service too, like Hulu, YouTube, Crunchyroll, and so visit expressvpn.com/Padilla to learn more, or click the link down in the description to get an extra 3 months of ExpressVPN for free. Again, that's expressvpn.com/Padilla for an extra 3 months. Support them, support us, and surf the web from anywhere in the world. But hold the f up, because I'd also like to thank our sponsor, BetterHelp, for our continued partnership. I've been outspoken about how therapy has been really beneficial for me, but therapy can be customized to whatever is right for you, and can be really helpful in providing tools to help with motivation or feelings of depression, anxiety, stress, insecurity, or whatever else that you might need. BetterHelp has been continuing to improve throughout the years and screens trains all therapists to ensure they have ample experience and are certified and licensed, and provides customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on the camera or even speak to anyone over the phone if that's not something that you're comfortable with. Therapy can be expensive, and the price of finding a therapist that you like and really connect with can be really overwhelming, which is why BetterHelp provides a more affordable alternative to in-person therapy, where you can start communicating with your licensed therapist in less than 48 hours. So thanks again to our sponsor, BetterHelp, who are giving I Spend a Day with viewers and listeners 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/Padilla. That's betterhelp.com/Padilla. Now back to the world of legendary anime voice actors. So now moving on to a little segment I like to call Sub versus Dub!
Some people prefer to watch their anime in Japanese, and some people prefer to watch it dubbed or in English or another language.
Subs is reading, dubs is listening. It's simple.
How do you feel when people say that they prefer to watch the sub version, the original version, because it's authentic, it's maybe how the director intended it to be, rather than watching the versions that you're a part of?
I understand if people say that. From my perspective, as an actor, I try to bring everything I can to that character. As a viewer, I prefer the sub.
Even as someone who does the dub, you prefer the sub.
I just watched Lupin. It's a show on Netflix, but it's a French show. And the actors are so brilliant in it. And I was like, well, why wouldn't I want to watch it in their native tongue?
When people love the sub, it's not offensive to me at all. Of course, I love when they watch my work and they bring up those moments that I experienced in the booth, and when it resonates with people and connects with them, I know I've done a really good job. I just love that people are appreciating anime in general and enjoying these shows, and it doesn't matter how you're enjoying them, just check them out.
All right, you down to roleplay?
Let's do it.
So I brought a printout of a character that I would like you to perform in any way that you see fit. It doesn't have to be how the character looks, just what would you bring to this character?
Okay.
So this is the character that you will be voicing today.
Jigglypuff, Jigglypuff, Jiggly, Jiggly, Jigglypuff.
How would you think this character would sound?
Eggs, I want eggs. I eat 30 eggs a day. Raw.
This character.
I said I don't eat mayonnaise! I don't know. That's the first thing that came to my head.
This motherfucker prefers Miracle Whip, okay?
Miracle Whip!
Does your voice ever hurt after playing certain roles?
Oh yeah, I do some raspy voices. There's a show called Gigantosaurus I'm on. She sounds like this. So if I was to do that all the time, that could hurt.
I had a screamer yesterday, and it's almost like you've had a really hard workout. Like, you know, you're all right. You can still go and perform again, but a little sore, a little beat up.
Like, what kind of things were you doing with that character?
Meaning he speaks and scream, like, that's all he knows.
What is the deepest and highest your voice can go? Is there a range here?
Well, I guess I can talk down here pretty good, and that always ends up being like a more of a southern cowgirl kind of deal.
That sounds like if Corpse were an older woman.
The deepest. I don't really play really deep characters unless it's like supposed to sound something like that.
Damn, that's good.
And then as far as high goes, I can talk like this.
My voice hasn't changed since middle school, so I feel like I can really capture some things on the high range. I want to be a magical girl. Inosuke, I feel like he's pretty far down there on the deep range. Look what else I can do!
What's been your most bizarre fan experience?
I signed a behind.
Could you see the crevasse?
I could see the cheeks.
The cheek, but the crevasse as well? Like which part of the
Crevasse.
You could see the crevasse.
The crevasse, I saw the cheeks, both.
How did that discussion go before you agreed to do this?
He asked if I could sign his ass, and I said, yeah, that's what I'm here for.
And you did this for free?
No,
Oh,
are you kidding?
there was money.
I charged him double.
Do you feel like more people might recognize you from your voice rather than your face?
Well, it's a different voice. It's not me. I don't walk around, screaming the voice of Ash all over the place.
Nice to meet you.
I don't need that kind of attention.
I can imagine
Mayhem.
you would be getting a lot more cheeks to sign.
Everybody would be pulling down their pants.
There was a time at Hot Topic when on the wall there were 3 kind of featured animes. One was Blue Exorcist, which I play Reno Kumara, the son of Satan. Attack on Titan, Eren Yeager, and Sword Art Online, I'm Kirito. So it was a wall of me. And I would just walk in and people would be looking at it and I'd go look at it next to them and go, I really like that character.
Does anyone ever realize what you're doing, or are they just like, thanks?
They give me a weird look like, oh yeah, it's great. I have no idea.
Do you ever find yourself watching the series that you've been a part of and kind of judging your voice or your performance?
I have a hard time watching myself. I look back and think, oh my gosh, I could have done that line like this. Oh, if that's what I knew Light was gonna say to me, or that was how he was gonna intonate that line, my response would have been completely different.
Ethan wants to know what the weirdest thing is anyone's ever asked you to say in one of your character voices.
I was at a convention and this very young girl comes up and says, would you be able to say a line for me as Eren Yeager? And I'm like, sure, I'm happy to. What would you like me to say? And she says, can you say Levi looks dead sexy in a miniskirt? I mean, that's what she was into. Who am I to judge? So I look her straight in the eye and say, Levi looks dead sexy in a miniskirt.
Volcanic Viridian wants to know if you ever get emotional when you're doing any of the sad moments with your character.
All the time. When I get vulnerable and let my guards down and take Shannon and Shannon's ego or whatever I think I should be doing or I should sound like out of the way, and I'm able to drop into that character, 100% I get emotional. And that's kind of the best part of the job is for a minute you get to forget.
What is it about being an anime voice actor that brings you the most joy?
The fans. The most beautiful thing that happens is when a fan writes to me and says that I helped them learn English because they live in India or they live in Russia and they watch the English language dub so they can help themselves learn English.
What do you think the biggest misconception is about anime voice actors?
Probably that we're super rich, that we're paid, millions of dollars every time we step in the booth. That's not true. I don't just work in anime to pay the bills. I work in anime because I'm passionate about anime. Doing other things as a voice actor pay better than anime, but I love anime. I love working and being part of those projects.
If there's anyone watching who wants to become an anime voice actor themselves, is there any kind of advice or anything you want to say to them?
I tell people get very comfortable with not booking things, with putting yourself out there, and if you book 1 out of 100 auditions, you are extremely successful and doing really, really well. So it's that amount of at-bats that it takes to really establish yourself and to hope that things work out and you get to work.
They get in their head that when you audition for something, if you don't hear back, then you're a failure, and then that probably discourages a lot of people. When in reality, like you said, you have to get very comfortable with rejection, knowing that 99% of the time you will hear nothing back.
But that being said, if you're passionate enough about becoming a voice actor, go for it. Try, but give yourself a chance. Get as much experience as you can. Practice, take classes, do whatever you need to feel confident inside the booth and confident with your craft, and go for it. And I hope you make it, and I hope we're working on the same shows in the future.
All right, you got 5 seconds to shout out or promote anything you want directly into camera. Go.
Find me on Instagram at Shannon C. Kent and also on Netflix for season 3 of You.
I'm going to be dropping collectible NFT art soon, so follow me on social media.
Hey guys, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Bryce Pappenbrook.
Subscribe to Anthony Padilla.
Damn, I'm gonna have to go unsubscribe just so I can resubscribe. Thank you so much, Bryce. I feel like I understand the world of legendary anime voice actors just a little bit more.
Awesome, man. Thank you for having me here.
After spending the day with these legendary and absurdly talented anime voice actors, I've come to understand just how much time, effort, and energy they put into bringing these characters to life, while often not necessarily receiving public acknowledgement for the work that they do behind the scenes. See you later, bye guys.
Press a like.
I've worked on a number of military games like Call of Duty. You gotta really yell, "Grenade!" You know, you gotta let it go.
Canada!
If I'm at a convention and in a hotel room, I still get auditions, and I have to like create a little pillow fort and try to do those. So my neighbors are just hearing me go, "Grenade, get down!" in the middle of the night.
There's gonna be a fire alarm pulled one day just based off your screaming.
Right?